Yeah.
Which takes us maybe another segue into that, Mahuana, was it farmers?
Yeah, by in a bayent. Yeah, because
That stormed either a court or a
and like, what was that about? Were they protesting farm murders?
farm matters.
Yeah, there was a farm murder that happened. Suspects were caught. I think they were due to appear in court. The farmers then took to that place.
Yeah.
They wanted to
The wheels of justice were slow, yeah.
to deal with it
Themselves.
Yes.
mob justice, so to say.
And they toppled
They
kind of king
toppled the police,
scheme.
a SAPS
Kind of by
van.
beats on that ends. Hippo. Yeah.
No, they toppled the SAPS van.
Or in a SAPS van.
Yeah.
Or in a
They were
hippo.
trying to topple a hippo, but they couldn't.
Or they couldn't.
They were shaking it, but they toppled a
SAPS
SAPS
van.
bakkie, and they burnt it.
They burnt it.
Yeah,
And none of them niggas got shot.
yeah, so there was no rubber bullets, there was
Well, when I hear.
in fact somebody was listening to Power FM about how even it in about 60% of the newspapers it was not the leading story. Yet when was EFF
And the fees must fall, it was top.
So
And
what he-
Happy, the other thing that you also need to think about is, well, not negating the fact that obviously black lives aren't worth as much as white lives anywhere in the world, especially in South Africa and places like America and whatnot. That's the one. So obviously the wrath to black protesters is a hell of a lot higher than it would be
against
to
yeah.
white protesters. Number two, it's very hard for you to transgress against a white person because he has the resources to come after you.
fight you, yeah.
You see, that's why smacking me is a lot easier than smacking
Lingam.
that man who Travis said he had the resources,
And
he
it's
has
Bamla.
lawyers,
Yeah, and he's gonna follow up.
time, and he's gonna see you in jail. He's gonna
see to
you.
it.
Yeah, he's gonna see to it.
Yeah, right. So that whole resource thing and the whole complex around black versus white lives, if you're pulling a rubber bullet gun on an armed white man, what do you think he's doing?
He's gonna shoot you back.
He's shooting the fuck out of you.
Because they were armed as well, yeah.
They were, yeah.
Do you understand? So as
They got
Lekhata,
guns,
you're
them
sitting there. It's easy to shoot a black person with karababulu. We're not armed. Easy to shoot a student.
Student.
That must fall.
Habana fogo.
Yeah, like we sit in dark.
Didn't
You
do it.
know? But you're gonna come and draw arms on affluent white males, right? Affluent farmer white males.
Wow.
You're not doing that.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
not doing that. There's no place where you're doing that.
And not to,
Unless the only time you're doing that as a black person against affluent white farmer white male is if you come in to rob.
yeah.
Yeah. But you're not drawing arms
not drawing your-
against those
yeah,
people because
yeah.
it's dangerous. And it's dangerous to you.
And it only trended on Twitter, bro. What's
It's
that guy
dangerous
wanted
to
to
you.
in that ends?
You know, I think Modise, you are right, but I think there's also, I think it also moves in unison with an inferiority complex as well. So I'll use an example of myself. And when I noticed this thing, I started meeting it out completely. So I would like, when I had an Audi, like to have like a very loud sound system, and like I was still young, I was in my mid-20s and whatnot. And if I pull up and there's a black person on the right and a black person on the left, I'm happy to like. And how tla ke na le ho itshowa be ke thola. Be ke thola because I already preempt he's gonna give me looks. I already preempt either he'll say something to me. I'm young, but be keep on actually ke tshaba makgowa.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. We're basically saying the same thing. You
Yeah.
just elaborated on it more.
No, I think the way you're explaining it
The
is
difference between because even with the inferiority complex, there's an element of logic that you apply.
of course.
There is an element of logic that you apply. It's just like when you have to attack a poor black boy versus a rich black boy.
Yeah.
There's a
logic.
there's a logic that you apply
Yeah,
depending
that plays
on
there.
the stature of the person you're up against. But yes, not negating, like I said, the black versus white thing and how black lives are not as valuable as
Inherently,
as
yeah.
white
Yeah,
lives.
as
you
white.
know, if you're inferior to something, you'll obviously feel subservient to it.
To it.
Sure.
Which then drives your decision making when it comes to
Handling and dealing with
that
it.
thing. Yeah, which is what happened there. So
Yeah.
it is an inferiority complex, yes, but there's an element of logic also inherent in that. So,
No, yeah.
but to one, they, yeah,
In fact, it reminds me
you
of.
police, but
Yo,
It reminds me of.
but go to young man.
It also reminds me of.
you still don't feel powerful enough.
No,
It also
not over
subdue.
them, over
Yeah.
us, yes.
Yes.
It also reminds me on at a lifestyle level about in a place where we wanna go hang out to spend our money, but we know that we are black, so the chances of us either being allowed in, so we change ourselves either by how we dress, about how we change our voices when we book,
Yeah.
because we are worried we'll be turned down with our money.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
Yet an establishment e re tsebang hore it's maybe it's an open secret that it's owned by Daki. I will not go through those steps. I'm wearing my shorts, but hanga e mdisa re teta mona o klo ja kae kae. When we know it's a white establishment, ho tlo tswa tšhelete ya rona ka bo rona ra itshoa I know re tšantse ke lo iphumulanyana, because we know we are going to a white establishment.
Yep.
And you get there and you find a white person with just shorts and slippers,
Yep. Yep.
but you feel like you have to sanitize yourself
Bill.
because you're like, hey, they want to turn us away. And like you even forget, like, I'm actually the one.
I'm paying for this shit.
Like I've had people when I was living in Cape Town where, for them to make a booking, they'd ask a white colleague to make the booking.
The booking.
You
Wow.
know? And at the time it's like, why should it matter so much? Like, just, it doesn't matter, but at some point you just
Wow.
gotta make a decision that I will never patronize a business that just doesn't want me.
Yeah, they don't want you there.
Yeah,
bro.
like it's what Mauricio was saying, like, "Harba but
Leave them alone.
yeah, the lengths and the hoops you jump yourself,
Uloifaka da.
more of to chelete.
Fuck, bro.
Hi.
Nah. It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense.
So what I then wonder from in the manner in which they responded, I was saying in the group Lumajan Sohore, I was wondering if that behavior is not something that they learned from us.
Yao, toppling, burning.
Yeah, because this is not usually an approach that they follow.
Whites, yeah.
Yeah,
They will
they
either change
march,
the law, a petition.
Yeah.
The petition.
You know, but is it possible that we've shown them that burning shit actually gets shit done?
Yeah. Get you
True.
the attention.
True.
Get you the attention.
True.
And they've spent so much time shying away from it and looking down on it and condemning us for it. To a point where they're like, wait a minute. Every time these people burn a library or a building
They're
down,
attended to.
the government gets
Something
up.
happens.
Yeah, they get attended to.
Something happens.
So, how new
Hey,
this is the language.
This is the language they hear?
Yeah, this is the language that's being spoken in the country.
Yeah,
I'm
so we're gonna burn
I
it.
gotta shout. I'm generally a polite and quiet person, but
Yeah.
to get attention, I gotta shout.
These are the rules of
These are
engagement.
the rules of engagement where I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if at
The
all
hypocrisy,
that
though.
influenced.
that's plausible. I
Yeah.
think it's a plausible angle.
The hypocrisy, though.
I think, yes, the hypocrisy.
Yeah, the hypocrisy, though. Yeah, but because they shit us for it. They shit on us
Yeah.
for it. They shit on us for it.
In fact, the way the media reports it is that the way the government has been turning a blind eye on farm matters, it has even made a white person who would ordinarily not engage in a violent protest. Actually, the behavior of these white people just shows how much this government has been ignoring them. So now what they do is that they use the behavior of the white people to just show how yeah, it shows you have a
Yeah, that
useless
means-
government.
And
Yeah, that
the
means
fucked
it's
up part
all
is the
bad.
same rationale could be used with black people. The students have been asking for so long,
Yep.
right? And the government has not been paying attention to this problem for so long that the students have now been forced to act in a manner in which they're not accustomed to.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says that.
Yeah. They don't.
But then
They
you're gonna
don't.
shoot white people some bail
Yep.
when they
Yeah,
do the same thing.
when they do the same
That's the
thing.
hypocrisy.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
There is a lot of hypocrisy, but I was just curious as to
Mm.
if there's any linkage between them having observed how we react to things and them
No,
just
definitely.
saying, actually, maybe we should just fall in line.
Yeah, definitely. And how bad are these farm murders, though?
They're
So,
not.
so in the bigger scheme of things.
No, not in the bigger scheme of things, they're minute, bruh.
Very minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because the way they're wilding out, especially
scheme
in
of
these
things,
propaganda
They call it
videos.
a white genocide.
Yeah, these propaganda fucking videos,
Call
sabona.
it what's that genocide in fit?
Bro,
Yo, they call it a white genocide.
like white people are dying en masse,
Yeah.
and that's not happening here, bro.
Look, we've touched on that. It's just some bullshit PR propaganda.
Yeah, no, banyela, banyela.
In fact, Mudise Ula Araba eloquently last time, Abare, what simply has happened now is that these things that black people have been complaining about murders and whatnot have now touched you. But because it's never touched you before, so tuto yet and whole, so it becomes genocide. What it simply means is that the crime that you've been buying yourself out of,
You've been
gated,
exempt.
You've been exempt.
Now it has caught you.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's exactly what's happening. There's no
And now it's a white genocide.
no
Yeah,
white genocide.
yeah,
There's no
there's-
fun
So
murders.
that's what took them to the courthouse. Because it touched them at such a level, like, we're tired of these farm murders. Okay, if you're tired about the farm murders, where are they supposed to be happening?
yeah.
Where are farm murders supposed to be happening?
No, where are murders supposed to be happening? if not
Exactly.
farms?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're not at the
where
farm.
are murders supposed to be happening? Because when
Yeah.
you're saying we're tired of farm murders, it makes it sound as if there's a place where these murders should be
It should
happening.
happen.
So what you,
Actually,
you're
you're
indirectly
Yeah,
saying,
you're right.
what you're indirectly saying, you're saying that, no,
Where
we're
must
not
this
the
shit
ones that
happen,
should be,
bro?
that should be murdered.
It
You
should
know,
be
these people should continue killing each other
each other.
and leave us out of that shit. Meaning, they're not really worried about the murder rate.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
just worried about the rate at which their people are.
are getting
Hit it on the
murdered.
nail, manega, because the fact that you see, I did work on like these societal problems that people that are moneyed, either whites or middle class, buy themselves out of, and they only raise their voices. But like murder is murder, right? Rape is rape. Electricity problems are electricity problems.
But-
The fact that you are only going to start complaining about it, now that shows how much useless the government is. So what you actually are saying, you are such a hypocrite. You are now saying that you were happy when it was at a distant at a glance. So fundamentally, you don't have a problem with murder. You just have a problem with it happened to you, which is hypocrisy.
Yeah, and you don't care that it happens to other people.
Which is hypocrisy.
And kinto entenang kamangam because like it's especially mangamla ahi because it's so apparently clear okay, these people want no fucking parts, bro, of this unity or
This rainbow.
or rainbow nation, you know, but they are content with it okay, ibe completely separate. You know what I'm saying? And like okay, it's fine, but you know, but these privileges that they got, okay, they can do certain things that we can't do, especially in this country. They could topple down that van and burn it without minor reporting, minor, you know, being shut down or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
But I did hear some were charged. A group of them were charged.
Oh, what?
Oh, were they?
Or is it?
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
no, that's good then.
Some were
That's
charged.
good. That's
I
good.
think arrested too. Some were arrested as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, nah. Then that because
We would have preferred Limpa Manyana.
Limpama, nyana,
Because
on
they were
time.
not Drapua.
Eh, tapua blind. Yeah, tapua blind. in fact.
At least Tatani. Protesting, he
Yeah.
the hands of the cops.
Is it? And then that's fees must fall. Dude, charge car vandalism. He's still
in jail,
inside. Yeah, he's still inside, bro.
Boom. Yeah.
So, but I want the same thing. They burned a vehicle at government. At least they had
Government proper.
government property.
The people, so fucking hypocrites. Baratang, protection of property so much.
Born, especially.
State property is you know, like in these states in America, where the state is,
The state is like,
it's like
upper-
you
you don't fuck around with the state, bro.
So they were caught out with how much of hypocrites they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because Mangamla, they don't play personal property and government property, state property.
Yeah. So fuck them niggas, bro. Fuck them niggas.
Where in which province was it?
I can show you. You see,
In el Senegal.
Free State. This is the Free State.
Senegal.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Free
no,
State.
Senegal.
Senegal.